This enormous unsecured island is actually part of North America on the northern frontier of the Western Hemisphere. That's our territory. It is therefore a core national security interest of the United States of America. And in fact, it's been our policy for hundreds of years to prevent outside threats from entering our hemisphere.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and me, Double D. And you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We really appreciate you guys stopping by. And before we get into everything, please make sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and smash the notification for us. It's the free and easy way to help this channel grow as big as possible. So, Double D, we got Trump taking over the World Economic Forum like he normally does every year. He's there in Davos again. You know what I mean? So, we got a lot that we're going to get into today, and we're hearing a lot of different things that seem to be really good, not only for America, but for the world.
Well, I think that's what Donald Trump's intention was. Now, I know a lot of the Europeans have been mad at him. I know he's been trolling them with the Greenland thing and stuff like that. And I've been saying that all along, by the way. Even the people who are hating on us, it's all hypothetical. I thought he was just trying to... I basically thought he was just trying to create some leverage, and I think he did a pretty good job at that.
Yeah.
But then he got to Davos, and basically he was a boss.
Right.
You know?
So, he gave his hour and a half long speech like he always does, because he has to be the leader of the room at all times. So we're not going to get into the entire thing, but we got a nice little 3-minute breakdown right here of basic things of what he talked about. So, let's hear it from the horse's mouth himself.
Let that clip roll, Bird.
Well, thank you very much, Larry. It's great to be back in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, and to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies. Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good. But it's not heading in the right direction. This enormous...
Hey, and that's true, though. Their illegal immigration is probably 10 times worse than America's is right now over in the UK.
That and pretty much... The whole EU idea really isn't conducive to a constitutional republic like the United States.
No, for sure.
I mean, I'm not sure how the two, it used to be different. When they formed NATO back in 49, all those states were separate countries.
Right.
And now they're like one big conglomerate, and that makes them a superpower, except they're a superpower that relies on our military.
Right.
So, but numbers wise, it's even there, and and it's like Trump's got to go over there and show him who daddy is, man.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Trump's your daddy, whether you like it or not. World Economic Forum, you all in Davos. Trump's your daddy, whether you like it or not. You might as well just accept it.
Unsecured island is actually part of North America on the northern frontier of the Western Hemisphere. That's our territory. It is therefore a core national security interest of the United States of America. And in fact, it's been our policy for hundreds of years to prevent outside threats from entering our hemisphere. And we've done it very successfully. We've never been stronger than we are now. That's why American presidents have sought to purchase Greenland. It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us. And that's the reason I'm seeking immediate negotiations to once again discuss the acquisition of Greenland by the United States. just as we have acquired many other territories throughout our history, as many of the European nations have. They've acquired. There's nothing wrong with it. We probably...
You know, you want to know the funniest thing about all of this, Double D? This is the greatest thing. The fact that these people act like Donald Trump's going to buy it himself. Like, he's going to buy Greenland and he's going to own Greenland. Like, these people are...
Be their new king.
Yeah, right. Like, these people, these libtards are so fucking deranged. It is hilarious. They don't realize that these are moves that we need to make in order to secure our country. People don't realize it, and that's fine. You know, you don't have to realize things. You don't have to pay attention to things. But, you know, this is something that is going to help us and benefit us for the future for a very long time.
I know this one way or another, whether Greenland is a territory or not. I mean, I have no problem with them being like an autonomous territory like the Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico. Have your own laws, your own system,
right?
You know, do whatever it is you need to do to be an autonomous country. But we really, really need more than one base there. And that's the reality. That's the reality, whether people like it or not. And I know over in Europe, they're upset about that. And, you know, and I feel for you guys over there. But we need that territory for our military. Sorry, we need it. We have that, what is it called? The Pacific or something like that. It's basically the Space Force base. It used to be the Thule Army base, but now it's the Space Force base. I'll look up the name here in a few minutes, but we need that. We strategically need that spot. And the ice is melting, which is opening up more canals, opening up more waterways between Europe and Asia, and in North America. So
right.
It's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. We won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable.
He's right.
I won't do that.
Of course not.
Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. But the problem with NATO is that we'll be there for them 100%. But I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. If we gave them the call, gentlemen, we are being attacked. We're under attack by such and such a nation. I know them all very well. I'm not sure that they'd be there. I know we'd be there for them. I don't know that they'd be there.
Tell me where the lie is right now. Tell me where the lie is. None of these people would be here for us. They all depend on us. But if we wanted to go to them and get any kind of help, they'd be like, yeah, we can't really do it right now. That's why we ask you for help.
Dude, if we just go by the comments we got from the last episode, that kind of left me with the impression that Europe has pretty much turned their back on us already anyway. And now, I don't think that's wholeheartedly. I don't think that's politically the case or geopolitically the case. But I think the people of Europe are starting to recognize that maybe we're not going to be at their beck and call anymore.
Yeah.
And I know look, man, Europeans have sacrificed a lot during Afghanistan, during Iraq, and I commend them for that. And I thank you for that. But we're growing different now. You guys are the EU now. You're this big thing, and we're this other big thing over here.
Right.
We're not the same anymore. We're a constitutional republic.
No. We're this bigger thing. They ain't shit on us. Don't get that correct. They're nothing compared to us.
I'm saying, but they're still
you guys
a big force.
They are this thing. We're this huge thing. Fuck them.
But that wasn't the point I was trying to make.
I know.
I wasn't trying to make of who's bigger or dominated. I'm trying to say that I think there's a real difference in philosophy, and that's what the president's talking about. He's talking about the infringement on freedom of speech.
Right.
He's talking about the infringement on personal liberties. He's talking about replacing the replacement with immigration.
Right.
And you got people like Keir Starmer and Macron who are like inviting that shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like Maloney, she kind of stopped that stuff in Italy. She finally put her foot down, but honestly, I was afraid she wasn't going to at the beginning. The point being is we're not aligned anymore. JD Vance was right. And I hate to say it because I don't want to alienate our allies.
Right.
But we got to figure out a way to play in the same sandbox together again.
Yep.
Because right now we got two different ideologies and two different views going in two different directions.
I agree.
I just did a Gavin Newsom there.
Building the Golden Dome, that's going to, just by its very
I guess
nature,
more like
going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're
They
not.
really should. They really
Prime
should.
Minister yesterday, he wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because.
So it's funny, you know. So
they live because we make sure they're protected. That's why.
Right.
I don't want to say they live because we allow them. They're alive and thriving because they have us to protect them, though, and that's a fact.
Right. So it's funny though that, you know, everybody was acting like Trump wanted to go in there and take Greenland, like he was going to go in there with the military, and just completely take it over. This is what the liberal media does to people. That they brain rot them and they make them think the worst is going to happen, when everybody at the EU that is talking bad about Trump, we're going to see here in a minute, Trump leaks messages of them, like praising him. It's insane, Double D. It's insane.
Yeah.
To be a member of the Board of Peace? Yeah, he's been invited.
And I agree with that. I agree with the Board of Peace thing. It's about time.
Before we get back into it, we got this. This is Putin reacting an hour ago to that. So, you know,
that statement, yeah.
Yes, so Putin is aware of what Trump says by now.
Мы действительно получили личное обращение президента Соединенных Штатов Америки Дональда Трампа с приглашением присоединиться к создаваемой по его инициативе новой международной структуре – Совету мира. В этой связи хотел бы прежде всего поблагодарить президента США за это предложение. Мы всегда поддерживали и поддерживаем любые усилия, направленные на укрепление международной стабильности. Отмечаем также и вклад действующей администрации США в поиске решения по урегулированию украинского кризиса. Учитывая особые отношения России с палестинским народом, мы могли бы, я думаю, направить в Совет мира $1 миллиард США из замороженных еще при прежней администрации США российских активов. Кстати, оставшиеся средства из наших замороженных США активов можно было бы использовать и на восстановление...
Time out for a second. So he's wanting to use the money that America froze of all that under Biden's administration. Isn't that when that happened under the Biden administration?
Yes.
He froze all that American money.
Yeah.
So he wants America to take that money and put it towards the building of this, what is this called again? The Peace Council, right?
Yes, I believe so. And the rebuilding of Gaza as well, I believe.
That is a good gesture on his behalf, though.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
He's talking about $1 billion too. I mean, that's not chump change
I'm not mad
for an
at it.
organization.
Hey, shout out to Trump for trying to make a peace council and actually inviting Russia to it to really bring peace to the world.
If you really want to form a relationship that's peaceful and prosperous for everyone, I'm afraid Russia and China still have to be part of that because they're a superpower too, both of them. And if they're not part of it.
Here's what people don't understand. What the peace council I would imagine would be is, hey, you're doing what you're doing in your country. What you guys do is what you do. You just you don't involve the other people of the world. You know what I mean? Like you don't do harm to the other people. Like you keep peace in the world. You know, if you're a communist and that's how your people choose to live, then that's on you guys. You know, but what it is I would imagine that this would be no more wars with each other.
I mean, I think the best way to describe a peace council under this circumstance is it would be a global alliance for not having war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much about it. I mean, I don't see where it goes much other than trade and economics and stuff like that, but geopolitical for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What a better way to start that. I mean, dude, give them the olive branch, extend it.
Exactly.
I have not heard anybody on the left or from Europe talk about extending the olive branch until now, and Donald Trump did it.
Yep.
He's brokering peace.
I
It's
like
the art
it.
of the deal. These people don't understand. Read the book. Europe. Read the damn book. Seriously. It's all right there.
And do you have any response to President Macron saying he will not join the Board of Peace?
Oh, did he say that? Well, nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So it's all right. What I'll do is if they feel like hostile, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few months.
Right, so who cares what he says? But it's funny.
He's gonna be gone anyway.
It's funny that these people are saying stuff like this, but then you see text messages that Donald Trump decided to let out, and this is from Macron himself. My friend, we are totally in line on Syria. We can do great things on Iran. I do not understand what you are doing on Greenland. Let us try to build things together. I can set up a G7 meeting after Davos in Paris on Thursday afternoon. I can invite the Ukrainians, the Danish, the Syrians, and the Russians in the margins. Let us have a dinner together in Paris together on Thursday before you go back to the United States. Emmanuel.
Yeah, I think Macron's just trying to stay relevant. He's just trying to stay relevant.
He's a kiss ass. He's a kiss ass.
He wants one opportunity at being able to get himself in the history books for the biggest peace accord deal that's about to happen on this planet. And now Macron's all about being part of it.
Here's the funny thing.
Macron.
Here's the funny thing,
Macron.
Double D, right? This guy, Mark Rutte, right here, who is the Secretary General of NATO, right? Mind you, NATO went to Greenland because they were scared Trump was going to invade it. They were fearful that Trump was going to just take it by force. They thought that he was going to do something bad to the people, right? But a leaked text messages from him. A leaked text message.
They over dramatize that shit.
Exactly.
Way overboard, bro.
A leaked text message from this guy to Trump says completely different. Right?
They should be embarrassed by how much they blew that out of proportion.
Mr. President, dear Donald, what you have accomplished in Syria today is incredible. I will use my media engagement in Davos to highlight your work there, in Gaza and in Ukraine. I am committing to find a way forward on Greenland. Can't wait to see you. Yours, Mark. Why would you? You're the secretary.
Understanding how strategic it is. We're getting Greenland one way or another.
We're getting it. It's America. Welcome to America. Welcome to America, Greenland.
We're getting it one way or another. The people of Greenland may not be happy about it at first, and I know they actually had the biggest protests in their history the other day.
Really?
But here's the bottom line: they're all going to profit from it.
Right.
I would like to hear from a Greenlander. Could somebody from Greenland actually comment in our comments? Because we have been getting it from Denmark. We've been getting it from France. We even had a guy from Italy. I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is, and he kept harassing me, but he knows who he is. And we had, obviously the Swede and the Dane, but nobody from Greenland. We had that idiot from Canada. I think he drank too much Canadian whiskey before he got on his keyboard.
Probably.
Yeah, the armchair protester from Canada.
So Trump laid out the framework, basically, I guess, for what he wants to do to get Greenland. So I haven't even heard this
We've got some breaking news over Greenland. Now, last hour, US President Donald Trump appeared alongside the NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on the sidelines of the Davos Forum. This is part of their public conversation.
There's one thing I heard you say yesterday and today. You were not absolutely sure that the Europeans would come to the rescue of the US if you will be attacked. Let me tell you, they will. And they did in Afghanistan, as you know, for every American who...
You know what? I'm calling bullshit, Double D. You guys can't even protect your own fucking country. You can't even protect your own country. How are you going to come and help us if something happens to us? I'm calling bullshit.
We have 104,000 troops spread out through 5 countries in Europe, all five of those NATO countries. Honestly, what, we going to bring back our own people? I mean, that's
I'm calling bullshit.
Dude, their military is, yes, they have big militaries, but I'm more confident in our own.
So this is the guy.
I'm more confident in us being able to handle it here by ourselves too.
This is the guy, Mark Rutte, right here. Okay, so why would you have your troops go to Greenland because you thought Donald Trump was going to go there and try and take it? But then you're saying you got his back. That doesn't make any sense, dude.
Did you notice when we were watching that? Did you notice when we were watching that video, Bird? Did you notice none of them had guns or sidearms?
Doesn't make sense, dude.
That was all. That was all about trying to, dude. They were trying to do the bully pulpit thing, dude, and they got smacked.
The ultimate, for every two Americans who paid the ultimate price, there was one soldier from another NATO country who did not come back to his family. From the Netherlands, from Denmark, particularly from other countries. So you can be assured, absolutely, if ever the US will be under attack, your allies will be with you. Absolutely, that's an absolute guarantee. I really want to tell you that because it is important. It pains me if you think it is not. And under your leadership, this alliance is stronger than ever.
Mr. President, when you said you would
have they heard the way they've been talking for the last 2 weeks?
I don't think so.
Have they heard anything that they've been saying for the last 2 weeks?
I don't think so.
2 weeks ago, Americans didn't even know that Europeans had so much distrust for us. We didn't even know they had all that contempt and distrust and growing hatred for us. We're just finding that out as Americans. You know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, this has been brewing for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's because of their leadership calling Trump Hitler. They've been no different than the fucking Democrats here. Yeah. I'm sorry. But the European leaders and the Democrats here have been saying the same old shit since he came down that escalator. So you know what? Again.
And what did you mean? What are the consequences?
You'll have to figure that out for yourself. You're a smart guy.
Mr. President, do you see a price for that's reasonable?
I can see that, yeah. I can see that.
How would you calculate?
I can see that, but there's a bigger price, and that's the price of safety and security and national security and international security, having to do with many of your countries. Mm-hmm. That's really the price, and that's the big price. And as you know, we're doing the Golden Dome. It's going to be very expensive, and it's better if we have Greenland than it is without.
So that's important.
The Golden Dome. I've been hearing a lot about the Golden Dome. Isn't that like it protects us from like nuclear weapons and stuff like that?
Yeah, a lot of
they try to just basically just disintegrates them in the air. Dude, we got some pretty kick-ass technology coming along. I mean, I don't know. I think Putin's seeing something after he. Trust me, they all heard about Venezuela and what happened with Maduro and how that whole neighborhood got sonic boom. Everybody knows what happened there. That was at a very small level, and that can be done it can be done up to like 400 miles at a time.
So Trump had a meeting with.
That's where I don't know how true that is. I've heard that from other podcasters. So I do want to correct that. I don't personally know that for a fact. So
Trump had a meeting with Mark Rutte, the guy we've been talking about, the Secretary General. And from what it seems like they had a very productive meeting.
Because it's set up this breaking news and it's just been posted on Donald Trump's Truth Social account. Now it says, based upon a very productive meeting that I've just had with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America
1000%.
And all NATO nations. What it is, though, we don't know. He goes on to say, though, based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. He just referenced the Golden Dome in that grab. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and various others, as needed, will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me. Thank you for attention to this matter. Signed, the President. So again,
I told you it's happening. It's happening. There's nobody stop. Now we know it's happening.
Here's the crazy thing, Double D, right? Everybody acted like the tariffs were, they're this bad thing. They're going to be terrible. They are leverage points. They are things used as leverage.
I said that last week. It was a leverage thing.
Crazy, bro.
Everybody panics. They all panic. You know. Again, read the book. Read the fucking book already, people.
Right.
Read the book.
Donald Trump is the art of the deal. Donald Trump is the art of the deal.
He is, man. He is. And you know what? When you read the book, you understand where he's coming from.
Yep.
He was a bully in his deals, dude. That's what he does. He was a bully on his show.
Right.
Remember that show, The Apprentice?
Yep.
Dude, he didn't go easy on those motherfuckers. He
Hey,
made
man,
them work for it.
Peace through strength. That's what it is.
And peace through Marines sometimes, too.
Yep. So, hey, I like what's going on. I'm not mad at it. Let's have a wait and see attitude. Hopefully it's something great, beneficial for everybody. It seems like something that Trump realizes that America needs to do before we get another president in there with no balls. You know what I mean? Because
as long as we get J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or Tim Scott, we'll be good.
What if we get Gavin Newsom? What if we get Gavin Newsom or something? No, you know what I mean? Or
Gavin Newsom, dude, he's a fucking loser.
Hey, man, don't underestimate him.
I'm not underestimating him, bro, but he's still a fucking loser. He's not.
But he's a loser that could be our president.
If he can win Texas and Florida, too, that's going to be the only way.
Democrats will vote for him everywhere.
Well, yeah, the Democrats will vote for him because, dude, they'll vote for a rotten egg if you put it up in front of them, put a D behind it.
Right.
But as far as, like, in reality, Gavin Newsom's a chump. He's not going to win the presidency.
Yeah, I don't underestimate
I'm saying
anybody.
it right here, right now. Look, when they started talking about Barack Obama back in 2006, I was like, yeah, this guy's got a really good chance. He's real sharp.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom is an idiot, and everybody knows it, including himself.
I don't disagree, but I'm still saying don't underestimate how retarded.
But you are right, though. We can never underestimate the idiocracy of the Democrat Party. That's for sure.
That's very true. Well, I feel like we accomplished everything we had to accomplish tonight.
I think so. I mean, looks like Donald Trump accomplished what he went to Davos for, too.
Yep.
He went to Davos, insulted them, and came back with Greenland. How about that?
Yep, and got them to actually cave in and actually leak text messages. This is the greatest thing because people don't realize, like, text messages, these are set in stone. You know what I mean? It's like sending somebody a message and then keeping the message. It's set in stone.
All I know, Bert, is I hope he washed his ass this afternoon.
I do too, and I hope
he just had it kissed by most of NATO.
And we hope you guys all washed your asses too this afternoon.
That's right. Keep that ass clean.
Yep.
But no, seriously though, dude, he went over there as a boss and he came back a bigger one.
I love it. Well,
I love it too.
I just want to thank God for this opportunity. Without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank my friends and family. Thank Double D. I want to thank you guys, the audience, because without you guys coming here, we don't do this.
And as always, Bird, thank you for making the show happen every week. Audience, thanks again for stopping by. If you stayed to the end of it, whether you love us or hate us, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Also, feel free to rip us a new one in the comments if you want.
Yep.
It'd be nice if somebody who agreed with us would put out a comment or two, too. But again, that's the way it goes. But last but not least, as always, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me this opportunity to be here today. And with all that, good night, y'all. And America, stay free, America.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Peace.